Welcome to another episode of The Stone Genius. My name is Ro. I'm the Stone Genius. I am stoned as fuck. I'm crossfaded, doing shots with my wife. So this is the 6th attempt at the show. It's going to be the last attempt at the show. It's going to be a short attempt at the show because I've already done about 2 hours of the show. So if I do another full hour, that'll be 3 hours. It will be, I ain't doing that. So, stoned as fuck. So hold on, I got something for that, I'm sure. Yeah. You're welcome. So yeah. So I was trying to do the show earlier. So the first multiple times I was doing the show, I will say that Bobby's, her dairy area. If you've listened to earlier shows, you'll know what part of the body that is. The dairy area on Bobby made multiple and repeated appearances while I was trying to put out shows. So the first 4 shows were between single digits, low single digits, like 4 minutes, and then 27 minutes. I think there was one high single digit, one low double digit, then the 2 extremes. So I had tried to put a show out. Her dairy area kept coming into my view, my line of sight, which I will tell you, I do hope that all of you, whoever you are, find someone that after day 1, the morning after, that you want to spend the rest of your life with them. And then 27 years, at least 27 years, hopefully many more years than that, but at least 27 years, because that's where we are now, you still see their dairy area and want to fuck the shit out of them. So let's see. I guess that is a nice segue, or perhaps not nice segue. For what happened. So the first 4 shows, the dairy area made appearance. I had a discussion with Bobby. It may have included kissing and a quick visit to the heavy petting zoo. But we talked. And we thought that it was best I finished the show. So at the end of the 4th time, I was finding that to be, and it was less about me and more about my penis. I think I was fine. I think I could have pushed through and completed that 4th show. Now, my penis, as erect as it was like, it was not about to allow me to finish the show that I was doing. We cook it, so it literally spoke to me, which is weird because usually my penis does not speak to me, but it spoke to me and it said,
"Hey dude, you should think about going to Butt City and then go to Pound Town. I'm just saying, you got some time now. You're not doing your podcast. Butt City, Pound Town. Peace out, dude."
So I was like, that seems weird that my groinular area was speaking to me. Now, I will tell you that every time I see Bobby's dairy area, it doesn't matter if she's up at 4 o'clock in the morning and showering and getting ready to work out, which she probably doesn't shower before, whatever. Anyhow, it could be 4 o'clock in the morning. I could be getting up working out, and maybe she's hot and she's throwing the blankets off, and maybe her dairy area is more or less exposed. And so there are my groinular area, my do bits. Speaking of do bits, I'll have to speak about Love Island, but my do bits, or my bits. I don't know if I have do bits or bits. I don't know if 2 people have bits and then it becomes do bits, or I don't know. But let's just say my groinular area becomes not enraged, engorged would be a better word. Enraged, perhaps sometimes, hopefully not, but maybe. I don't know. I can't speak for it.
Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. You let me talk for myself, okay?
It sounded like he was stumbling over his words, which is weird. I'm not gonna let him speak anymore. Um, so I listened to my penis. I decided to take Bobby to Butt City. Actually, I went to Butt City. I don't know what Bobby was doing. I couldn't see her face, so I don't know exactly what she was doing at that time. She could have been doing calculus for all I know. Now, I don't think she is not as enamored with math as I am, so I doubt she was doing like calculus or like statistics or anything like that. I don't believe that's what she was doing, but I don't know. I couldn't see her face. Do we have a mirror that I probably could have I probably could have covertly not even had to ask, just kind of move my hip like in a certain way, more like instead of it being less sexual, making it more like, can we please move this way for some reason? Like I'm cramping, I have plantar fasciitis. I don't know what's going on, but for any reason, I could have moved into the line of sight of the mirror. I did not do that. So I couldn't see her. I don't know what she was doing during this time. So, yes, I believe the technical term, the scientific the medical term was eat it from behind. And then we went to Pound Town. If you don't know what Pound Town is, I would suggest checking it out in Urban Dictionary. I would suggest not doing that on your own phone, though. Remember, as a friend of the show, always borrow someone else's phone to look this up. Now, I do want you to get your friends and things to listen to the show. So by all means, I would say to them, suggest listening to the show to people of lesser renown to you, that you're not maybe as familiar with, that maybe and perhaps you wouldn't feel uncomfortable asking to borrow their phone to look something up very quickly for science. Oh, I was just wondering what would happen if the average temperature of the world seas rises by 1.2 degrees Celsius over the next 37 years. Really? Yeah, you can use my phone to look that up. I feel like I should have a button that I could push that would make someone sound like that. I do not. If you're like, what is that sound in the background, Ro? I'm packing a bowl. So, and you know what? You know what happens once someone packs a bowl? They smoke a bowl. Now, if I didn't mention earlier that I'm crossfaded, I am. So this is going to be a very iffy podcast at best. I have no co-host reining me in, no Cat, no Bobby, no one saying, hey, let's get back to this. So I don't even know. So I think where we're at in the story is I see Bobby's butt. I want Bobby's butt. Then we do other things. We are now finished. Pound Town, we've gone on vacation, not on vacation. Let's call it holiday. We're European that way. We went on holiday to Pound Town. I would suggest if you have not been to Pound Town recently, check it out. It is great. At least in our case, it was great. It was nice to visit. I mean, we were just there a couple days ago, but it is nice to visit. Every time we visit Pound Town is a great time. Doesn't matter, day, afternoon, evening, plane, automobile, train, it doesn't matter. We are happy. Bobby and I are going to discuss where we want to go, where we want to base our operation out of. Because I was like, if we're rich, we should go somewhere warm because we can always travel. Like if our kids want to stay in Kansas City, which is all fine and dandy. Kansas City is a very pleasant town. It was a nice place to raise our kids. I am very happy that we had the opportunity to live in the Kansas City area. Now, when I say that, I really mean that I am very glad that we had the opportunity to live in southern Johnson County, Kansas, in a very affluent neighborhood. That's what I was getting to there. So I didn't want you all to think that, because if you look at Kansas City, I'll be like, oh, well, Kansas City's not that great. You're right. There are places in Kansas City that probably aren't that great. That's not where I am. So, so if our kids want to stay here, we did it. That is fine and dandy. They're saying they're not going to have kids. Hold on, I got something for that. I'll let that go. And I don't care if that gets creepy. Not having grandkids is very high on my bucket list. I wonder, is telling people what's on your bucket list? I mean, I guess you have to have, like, if you want to go skydiving or something, you would want someone to go, so you have to tell them. But can you say it's your bucket list, or is that like a wish and it does something bad? Like if you tell, oh, this is on my, like afterwards, oh, I'm crossing that up on my bucket list, then it's okay. But if you said, yeah, I want to go skydiving, it's on my bucket list, are you almost assured that you're going to plummet to your death at that point? Either in the plane or outside the plane. I don't know. Hold on, I got to take a hit. I like that you guys are so patient with this. I mean, honestly, what are you going to do? Change the channel? Actually, that's more of a... I wonder if I said something like that, if Kat would catch me. Because I always have to tell Kat when she's like, oh, if you just tuned in, I have to explain that's not how podcasts work. You don't just... It's not like when you're trying to better your day and you pick up a Bible and you just open it and point to a verse and hopefully, like, your finger is directed by God to the verse that you need. It's not quite like that. So let's see. Speaking of co-host, my co-host will be back. We have interviews galore coming up. On one day, we do a couple of different interviews. I believe that... I don't know. So here's the deal. I have 2 interviews coming up. Kat will be involved in both of those. First, with attorney John Humphrey, a huge friend to the show. We're very happy to have him back. It's been a while. That being said, John's going to be on with Kat. And then after that, at a later time and at a secret destination, we, hopefully not too secret. Like, I don't know where it is yet. Like, I don't know where I'm going to do this second interview. Kat does. I do not. Bobby does not. Bobby and I will both be in attendance, as will other people, but I don't know where it is. I think Bobby and I don't know, and then everyone else knows. I don't know whether I should be worried about that or not, or Bobby and I should be worried about that. Currently, we're not. But we will be at a second location, and that will be with what we're going to at this point call the Tennis Girls of Johnson County. And we'll see. I think I'm gonna have to put that one out Friday, and the reason being we're gonna record it on Thursday, and then Friday on St. Patrick's Day, it may get a little lost in the noise. Hopefully, maybe, because I don't want anyone to. If there's regret, I want it to come after the show is already out. I don't want to put it out, schedule it for next week, put out John's interview, and then put out the Tennis Gals of Johnson County next week, because that may give them time could you maybe not post that? I'm not sure we want to do that, whatever the case may be. So we'll see how that goes. So we have those. Liv LaRue will be joining Bobby and I. Bobby is my wife and co-host with me in life and on the podcast, The Longest One Night Stand with Bobby and Roe. So Liv LaRue will be on that podcast as well. I do believe Sal Barbaro, tennis pro, will be coming back on. So Sal, being a tennis pro, he does have a competitive spirit. He found out that his interview for a long time had been ranked number 2. Had been ranked number 2 all time for most number of downloads and listens. And it was bumped down to number 3 recently. So I believe he's trying to be on the show again so that he can have another appearance, but maybe that will lead people to go back to his first appearance, boosting those numbers because I believe he would like to be number one overall. However, I will say the person that is now number one overall, I have been communicating they will be on the show with Kat and I in April. And so good luck, Sal. I wish you the best. So, Kat, Sal, Bobby, and I went out recently on a weekend night to 2 different establishments. They were very different establishments, and it was a good time. Now, I will tell you, Sal was eating some sort of like barbecue brisket nacho. And here's the thing. We've talked about my limited palate and how I have difficulty with that. But I'm trying to write notes while I do this. So I see what Sal's eating. I love nachos. And I love, I think it was pulled pork. I do like pulled pork, but it may have been brisket. I think Bobby said pork, but maybe, I don't know. I thought it was brisket. For either way, I do like, I like either one of those items. And then I like nachos. But I'm like, I can't eat that. That doesn't even look right together. I mean, I'm used to yellow cheese. And white cheese would probably, even though like when I go to certain restaurants and they have whatever cheese, queso, blanco queso, I'm okay with that. But like if you put it on a nacho and spread it over cheese, that would look kind of weird. So when you go really dark, it really looked weird for the nacho. And so I don't know if I could do that. But then I started thinking like I had nachos and then I would make chili nachos. So what is so different from that? So I'm trying to rationalize this. This is how my brain works or does not work. I'm trying to rationalize then at that point that I could eat those nachos because I've done chili nachos. Because I used to not do nachos and chili, but now I will put chili onto nacho chips and I will do it that way. And I'm fine with that. And it tastes good. So if I can combine those two things that were dissimilar and not something that I would typically meld together, then why couldn't I do it this way? I don't know. I didn't try it that night. Next time, I promise to eat some of Sal's food. I felt that statement needed both of those. So we went out. I did find out the best way to move up as a amateur tennis player to move up in your rankings. They do it by, I don't know, 2-0, 3-0, 4, I don't know, something, and then maybe halves. You know, I am almost positive that either Catherine or Sal have told me, or both of them have, which seems like it makes a lot more sense because I've talked to both of them for probably a total of 5 hours about tennis. So I would say that there's a good chance they've told me this, but I have no fucking idea. No idea. Let's see. What else we got going on? That's about it, I think. See, this would have been like a super great interview if I would have combined all the other interviews. I think I went down some really good rabbit holes, but for the life of me, I can't remember what they are. Let me look on my notes. Do I have any notes? Oh, yeah. Bobby's first joke, which is great. But we don't have to go over that again. So, okay. So this is, appreciate this show. John Humphrey's going to talk. We will probably talk a little bit about flinging my body in a catapult because it's John, it's me. Why wouldn't we? I know that Catherine is familiar with my want after my passing to be put into the ground via catapult. But here's the thing. I say I want this, and it should not be up to Bobby. I should not, like if I don't wake up in the morning. I just go to sleep. I die peacefully in my sleep, not peacefully in my sleep, whatever. I just pass away in my sleep tonight. It should not be on Bobby for her to have to look up catapult because it can't be easy. Although I can't imagine it'd be that hard either. I mean, like if I put catapult rental near me, I would hazard to guess I wouldn't have to mull through a whole bunch of different operators to find the correct one that I need. I would say that the market is not saturated with catapult dealers. That being said, I also don't expect her to have to call around and explain because I am a salesperson. I want to be a cult leader. I think I have many of the qualities that cult leaders, successful cult leaders, not like shitty cult leaders. I'm talking about super successful cult leaders. I have a lot of those tools. So it should be up to me to do the convincing of a cemetery that they should allow a body to be placed into the ground via catapult. So first of all, logistics. See, the catapult and this is where I'm probably going to have to do research on this. My personal belief, my hyperbole, my overestimation of my own skills is that I will be able to find a catapult company and a cemetery that will be willing to donate the use of their catapult because of the amount of attention this is going to draw. Because if you're like, well, do you think they need the attention? Have you ever heard of a company that rents catapults? Exactly. So yes, they 100% need the attention. So I could probably get them on board. And then if I find a cemetery, and cemeteries aren't great places. Like, it's like the last place you want to be. But a cemetery, so how about if you change that? How about if you changed, what? Seriously, we should go up to St. Poopy Head's, and I'm sorry, it doesn't have to be St. Just Poopy Head's Cathedral. A cemetery, Northland Cemetery, and I just pick whatever name, a cemetery. We should just go up there. Who knows what's going to be happening? I mean, because if you think that a catapult, like if you had heard a local business that you had not heard of before used a catapult to fling bodies around, wouldn't you probably go, what else do they do? Because that's not a toad being dipped into the pool type thing. If you're using catapults to fling bodies around, that is something that I would say is more advanced. So let's just say that I believe that I personally would be able to, if I did this before my passing, be able to get a company, both a catapult company and a cemetery, to both donate. And here's the thing too. I don't really give a shit if the cemetery digs a hole, lets me get shot into the hole. No one's going to stay around to see it covered up then. No one gives a shit about that. So they can just go, oh, it's in the hole now. They clap and I don't know. I would assume TMZ would be there. There may be other news outlets there reporting on this. But once all of that is done, I mean, by all means, you can drag my body out of there and then reuse or repurpose, do whatever you need with that hole. I'm just saying for the catapult launching, it is going to I need a place to land. I need a place that does not need to be my eternal resting place. So, I think that I could do that. It's not up to Bobby. So now I hope I don't die tonight. Now that has become my biggest fear. Not all the things I'm going to miss out. Because I have a busy Thursday coming up. It's Tuesday night when I'm recording this, but I have a really busy Thursday. So if I could not pass away over the next 2 days. So here would be the worst. So I will say this, and I will say this out loud so that the universe and God can hear. If I pass away, I would like it to be quick. Just because I don't want to like have some coronary, go to the hospital, be semi-conscious, because I would really be fucking stressed out that I was not able to do what I was supposed to. That would cause me great anxiety. So let's not have that happen. So I hope I don't pass away tonight. That would be unfortunate for Bobby. Tomorrow, I think I'll be busy at work. If for some reason I'm not, it may give me a chance to do some of this research because I don't want this to be on Bobby. And I don't want it to be limited to her. Even if there's only one choice for her, for a catapult place. And she is good with math. I am a little bit better with math, a lot bit better with math. And so I think it would probably be more prudent for just this situation. And it is my body being tossed around. I do believe that it'd be more prudent in this situation for me to do the mathematics when it comes to catapult, the strength, the tension that may need to be done. How is that going to be spring loaded for each individual that's participating in my posthumous 401k stuffing event, I guess is what we could kind of call that. It would probably just be best if I did the mathematical, like that type of behind the scene work. Bobby is fully capable of doing it. This is my thing though. I mean, like if she had a weird request, I would be like, well, how much of this can you take care of before you pass? And it's just because I will say that it's because I want to make it right for her, which I 100% do. I do. However, it's probably more because of the laziness. Yeah. I sounded kind of like an airline pilot. We'll be pulling back from the gate in just about 3 minutes, and then we should be taxiing out to runway number 2 righty. I don't know if that's how they name runways. And then we'll be third in line to be taken off. So this is your captain. My name's Sparky McDougallhead, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks for flying our airline. That's me. I should do voiceovers. Maybe media. So I wrote down some names for a new media group. One Night Stand Media. Longest one night media. I don't know. Oh man, I'm exhausted because I feel like I've done hours worth of this show, and oddly enough, I have. No, fucking no. Okay, so gonna cut this short. We have some great interviews that'll be coming up soon. Crane Organic guys should be coming back pretty soon. There's a lot going on in the Kansas legislature that Daniel's part of. And by extension, Alex is too. So they've been very busy, but I have spoken to Daniel recently. They should be back on the show. I think I've told Kat this, but I need to announce it again. She has been disqualified. Now that she is co-host, these visits do not count. I repeat, they do not count towards total number of times on the show, because that was something like as a guest that I was allowing people to do and take pride in being on the show so many times. So so Kat had been on a certain number of times as a guest and had been one of the more popular guests that we've had on the show. But now that she's a co-host, we're going to take that designation away from her because it does not matter. I'm not comparing apples to apples anymore. I'm comparing adult white men doing a job versus women. Yeah. So, anyway. Wow, I made it 30 minutes. Hold on, I got something for that. So this is what I wrote down. I was gonna wrote down some notes because I would say with almost every episode, I get to the end of the episode because I don't re-listen to them. I'm like, I don't know what to call the episode. And yes, I do have notes at the beginning, but I rarely go by them. And then I'm like confused at the end because I'm so high. I'm so high that I don't know if I should trust those notes and things like that. But all I wrote, so I was gonna write some notes down, and then I will be able to expand on those. I will take the words that I've written down. I'll be able to give a little bit of explanation about what this show is about. And all I wrote down was butt, B-U-T-T, and Sal. Now, I don't believe, I'm 199% sure I am not talking about Sal's butt. I think I was talking about Bobby's butt, so I just wrote down butt and what a distraction that can be. Oh my, oh my. And then Sal was separate. I was talking about being back on the show and some other things. So that being said, I don't know whether I want to use that in the blurb. I mean, most of the stuff what I put there doesn't make sense anyway. So this definitely would not make any more sense than anything else I put there. But I'm not sure that I want. Actually, I should just put that Butt and Sal. And then after you've listened this entire program, after you've listened the entire program, you will understand with exact clarity what the title is referencing. That being said, as well, I don't want to whatever. So anyway, it's the end of this episode. I can't believe I somehow made it 33 minutes, and all I talked about were butts and Sal. Evidently, I don't know that for a fact. I really should listen to an episode sometime. I will totally think about doing that. That's where Bobby and I need to travel. I swear. That's what we'll do. Once we start traveling, once we become rich enough that I don't have to drive anymore, I can pay someone to drive for me, I will start listening to the show. I don't think I'll critique the show, but I will go, oh, well, maybe I should. That was a good story. Perhaps I should finish it on a future episode. And then I would be able to jot notes like, do you remember season 2, episode 37? Do you remember when you said this? Now, most people wouldn't know that, but that is something that I am trying to get people to learn to do. Anyway. Okay, I got to stop. I got to go to sleep. Because this time frame thing has messed me up. So last night I was up super late because I wasn't used to going to sleep early. You know, here in America we got daylight saving times, and then I stayed up late, but I had to get up early this morning, and then so basically what happened, it was like I stayed up last night till like what my body felt like was midnight, but then I got up what my body felt like was 5 a.m. So now it's literally, the clock is now saying 11. My body feels like it's 23 o'clock. And I know military time that there is a 23 o'clock, but let's just pretend that I was making an exaggeration there, and I wasn't referencing military time. I was saying on a regular clock of 12 hours that it was going to take 23 hours. That's what I was meaning. Yeah, not the other. Anyway, thanks for listening to the podcast. My name's Ro. I am the Stone Genius. Remember, right now I am stoned AF. Now, I did warn you that at the beginning of the show. So if this is more discombobulated than most, I warned you. Now, should you have taken heed to that warning? Probably not, because I probably say that a lot. I don't know. I don't listen to my show. But this time, I really, really meant it. Thanks for listening to the show. My name's Ro. I am the Stone Genius. We'll talk to you next time.